This is Daf Yom Yerushalmi Kilayim. In the article Ozma edition, we're on Daf Gimel and Ralph all the way to the bottom. The first line of the Gemara, which is, the last line of the page, is from the Gemara Nisni Shaz Meloni Neiteni. And in the Vilna, that is on Daf Mem Gimel base. The second line from the bottom, also beginning of the Gemara, Nisni Shaz Meloni Neiteni. So the Gemara says, Nisne Shaz below Nisne Teni. Let's see, Shaz not Teni. Let's go a little further before you explain this. In the Shaz low Nisne low Tani Tneni, which is in Shaz not Teni. Ha Bina Amin Ha Tavi Mutter. They said that Tavi is permitted. So the one is asking, let's say Shaz and not say Teni, because since Shua by itself is also, in other words, combed wool or linen, combined together with combed wool or linen, right, the opposite type is usher. So therefore, just say shua, or just say shots, not tenny. So it says more no, because then it was said that tenny by itself, by that tenny, in other words, if it's tavli and news, that in other words, spun and woven, even if it's not combed, since it's not combed, right? Therefore, it's being mutter, right? But that's not true. At least the Rabbanan it's also. According to Rambam, it's also the Raisa, because any one thing is also the Raisa. According to according to Rashi, it's at least the Rabbanan it's also. So so therefore, Masislo Makay, Ein Aser Mishum Kilayim, Ela Tavui V'Ari. So that it says that something is osir, if it's tavli and orig, right? Even if it's not combed or the beforehand. So the mashmos in the sugya is like the Rambam, and seems to argue the Bavli in Nida, which seems to much most of which seems to be like the other Rishonim, sounds like the Rambam, although you can get out of it, because once you assume it's the Rabbanan, so it doesn't really matter. But from the Pashtus and the Sugya, it sounds like we're saying that the Raisa, it's also even by one of them, right? Because it says Nisi Shaz, below Need Teni. So Shaz in of itself, it's also, right? Shaz would mean that even if it's pressed felt, the Rambam, the explanation of Shua, that in of itself, pressed together, linen and wool is also the Raisa. But again, you can learn it, you don't have to necessarily learn it that way, because you could say that the Mishnah is saying, no, they want to say, that's to say Shaz, and it's still be also at least the Rabbanan. That's the Raisa, at least the Rabbanan is going to be also. Okay, anyway, Nisne Shat, below Nisne News. Let's say Shat, and not say News, and Shat would mean that if it's combed and spun, it's also, even if it's not woven. Right, or if it's according to the Rambam, it's pressed felt or twined or sewn, it's also even if it's not woven. So il shot news. If I just said shot and not news, I would say ha news mutter. The Reb Chaim based on Rashi says it's supposed to say ha news mutter. I would have said that a garment which is woven and not spun is mutter. Okay, so therefore it tells us, at least it's also Rabbanan. And Masis Lomar Kay, we know it's not true. El Pif Shel Tzemer Shel Pishtan also, the a pif of wool with a pif of linen is also Neshen Chozin Ka'ol Arik. So, because even though they weren't properly spun or combed or even spun, nevertheless, it looks like it's woven. That made it's enough to make it also, at least. Again, according to Rambam, also the Raisa, according to the other Rishonim, at least also the Rabbanan. Now, this whole sugya seems to me indicates that shatnez here is a smachta. In other words, the word shatnez, we're learning the shatnez is if it literally is shua tavli news. And certainly, if we're learning like the other Rishonim, but talking about the Rabbanan here, it's very hard to say that this is talking about the word shatnez can be broken apart into these meanings. When the Raisa if we're going to look at the word, we're going to require all three. How can we say sha'az, no, nose, or this, or teni? So it sounds like the word is really an asmachta, which we're using in order to remind ourselves what are the components of the Isser. Not that the actual etymology or derivation of the word is like we're saying right now. Nisei tenez, and continue this vein, Nisei tenez lo nisei sha. Let's say tenez and not sha. So ilu tenez lo nisei sha. Let me say sha mutter. We're going to say that combed together, linen and wool, it'll be mutter, even the rabbar. I said, okay, it's not true. But rather pressed felt is also because it's combed together. So Mashiach, okay, so all these things therefore are have to be included in the full word, Shul Tov Venus, the way we darshan, and again, at least the Rabbanon we darshan that way. I thought it's probably not at the Rise of Joshua. Even going to Rambam, was saying one of the three of us are the Rambam. According to him, the word Shatnez is not doing it all, because any one of these components would be awesome. So therefore, this whole Gemara seems to be darshan on the level of a smachta. Okay, back to the Gemara. Mashil Shagaman Asuros. So we said that in the Mishnah that the strings of our gaman are osir. The Mishnah said, all right, but we have changed that to our gaman. The osir to belt to use them on their wool strings. You're not allowed to use them as a belt on linen garments. Is tani mutaros. There are those who say it's mutter. So the way the Reb Chaim would change is based on Rash Sivilio. It's supposed to be is tani asuros. First, we explain why it's asur. And Mandamar asuros kigon ilain tarsia. The machbes bay. It is it's some way you can't remove your garment because it compresses it without removing the belt. So therefore, it's awesome. Tarsi are weavers, so I guess somehow that the way they wear their belts, they can't remove the garments without removing the belts. Madam Mutoras. He says it's mutter to wear the garment belts over the linen clothing. Do shonatz karmei, and he can contract himself. Bunachtale, and the belt will fall off, the garment will fall off, like we said yesterday. Halacha. Hatorib kiva achas in a chibur. If you have you connected one garment to another by sticking the needle through one side or the other at once. They're not connected to the chibur for tuma. One comes tummy, the other one does not automatically become tummy. The Yerushalmi Kilayim, it's not going to be Kilayim either. If one of the garments is of wool and one of the garments is linen. Hashem Shabbos but to remove a single thread going through on Shabbos, your example, it's not considered to be undermining your sewing. Also, but if you put it back again through the garment, right? You have two garments, you put it through and back again. That's it. Kifa achas. That's state chifos, sorry. Chibur. Then they're going to be connected. It's like a staple, right? But yesh moshivim, there's kilayim. If you put together two garments, one of linen and wool this way. Shalom Shabbos Chai, if somebody removes the this loop on Shabbos, this stitch, this is what I was looking for, is considered to be chayiv. Right? You have to have three stitches, right? In, out, and in again. It's exact. About sakva kupa, mitzdarfin l'kilayim. The sak and kupa are joined together for kilayim. So there are a couple of shots in here. The shot which I wrote here seems to be more simple as that of the Rambam, which is the second shot brought down Reb Chaim. That it's talking about In other words, if you collected garments of wool and garments of linen, and you tie them together into a sack or into a box. You can't wear the sack or not a box, a basket. So you can't wear the sack or the basket because the fact that they're tied together in the sack is considered to be a chibur linyan kilayim. There's another shot here, which is the shot of the Rash, which is that you connected a garment of wool to a sack and a piece of linen to the sack. It's not connected by being within the sack or padding the sack, but they're connected by the sack itself. And you connect them together that way, those two pieces. You're not allowed to wear the sack or the basket. And even though they're two kalim, there was linen on one side, wool on the other side, you can't put them both on at once. Not sure exactly how. Why not? But in any event, they don't say that each one is separate, but the fact that they're connected by the sack cloth in the middle, that it makes it a chibur for a kilayim. And the end of the mission brings us down to page on the base, and we'll leave the page at the top of page Dalet on the Aleph, together with page Dalet base, the final part of the Masechta, Emir Tzashem for tomorrow.